Duel 3. We may have a little thing over there in the corner that is joining us, but don't worry about them. They're not important. I mean, at least this time it's not going to be a disembodied voice. And if any of you guys were wondering who that was, we totally forgot to mention it during the video. That was Silver. Some of you guys might know him. He joins us for Persona 5 Royal on the D&D streams. But yeah, he just randomly hopped on. I was like, is this Guilty Gear? And then he just sat there watching until Testament showed up. And I was like, oh, damn, that's a hot girl. But anyways, Guilty Gear lore. Awesome. Let's continue.
Yes.
The saga continues. Welcome back.
It continues.
As we put these
Not
pieces...
not a
the
360,
saga
please.
continues. Welcome back. As we put these pieces together to help you understand the last 2 decades of lore, it's awesome to see how many of you guys are getting in there.
Now.
As we approach
Thankfully.
Ultra Gear Strive coming soon, the information density is getting amped up. But everything we've learned of the story so far
years
means we're ready.
I mean,
No break.
this video was 3 years ago, yes.
It's on the screen.
We're kind of late to this series, not gonna lie.
Heaven or hell. Get ready to rock. Yeah.
In the world of Guilty Gear, time can be convoluted. Alternate timelines and
Perfect.
parallel...
That's my favorite.
Oh, of course. For you, Suri. Suri has this weird obsession with stories that start and end with a loop.
And it's funny because I didn't know that until Zero started pointing it out.
Well, every single anime that you suggested we react to, for whatever reason, ends like that. And I'm surprised that you never noticed.
Yeah. And now I'm hyper aware of it.
And I mean, like, even the ones that don't have anything to do with time somehow have some sort of narrative loop. Also, this one particular scene, for whatever reason, makes me think of Kingdom Hearts. It's probably like kind of the stained glass look and the time.
Yeah, I was
whatever.
thinking Bayonetta.
Bayonetta? No, that's a series I don't know too much about, except for the main character. So, yeah. Makes sense.
realities
I tried
are
playing
not
Bayonetta.
foreign
I didn't get
concepts
too
to
far.
consider.
So good.
Sometimes events are depicted that differ from the main path that we know, but observing these events can give an insight into the motivations that shape the world.
No, how could you?
2181 AD, Guilty Gear, XX.
Can't kill her.
The Midnight Carnival, Reload, and
Double
Accent
X.
Core.
1X is enough, thank you. Even
No.
then, that's too much.
We need triple X. Hell yeah. I wouldn't mind watching that kind of
3
Guilty Gear.
Twitters?
No! Not that! No! Look at her. Look at her go. Oh. Oh my. Yo-yo girl. I know. It's rigid. I just wanted to do the Silver thing because he wasn't here.
I mean, technically Strive confirmed that she's trans, so she is Yo-Yo Girl.
Yeah.
Shortly after Dizzy leaves the Grove, a collection of disruptive events occurs outside of the main timeline. The common denominator in all of them is the being known as Ino.
Oh!
Incredibly powerful with magic and
It's
timing
like a
ability.
girl.
What is that art? Gee, what is that pose? Is she playing while striking this pose? Because I gotta go to these concerts. That was a sick guitar riff, by the way. Damn.
Manipulation.
That is
Ino is a musical outsider that doesn't know where she comes from, but is drawn to the concept of tomorrow. Without knowing why, Ino witnessed a dull, gray
The concept
future
of
awaiting
tomorrow.
humanity, and now she's obsessed with changing that future by any means necessary. In most circumstances, this means stirring up trouble and creating conflict with her guitar Marlene, and altering major events for historical figures. No small feat.
What? alter major historical events with my guitar named Marlene. How? Also, I think Ino even attacks with her guitar. Where does that come from?
But made
What is her
possible
guitar
due to her
made of?
ability to
I don't
meddle
know.
with causality by slipping freely to and from any timeline. She does so in
Oh,
a
damn.
similar manner to Axel Low, the main difference being her ability to control it. But no matter how many
I
times
was gonna say, but she did it on purpose.
Yeah. Poor Axel can't get back, but she can go anywhere she wants. How? She's just a god?
Look at them boots, though.
Oh,
Crazy
yeah, the
boots.
boots. Oh, that's what I was looking at.
repeats history, the future always converges on a single point. The dull gray future awaiting humanity remained unchanged. She becomes one of that man's
Hidalgo,
closest
though.
associates
Yeah.
and frequently takes it upon herself to eliminate anything or anyone that she believes stands in his way.
That
But her
man.
methods frequently upset him. 2173 AD, the Battle of Rome. Another reality. In one previous instance of her time traveling, Ino is present in 2173 AD,
Oh,
just before
okay.
Kai's last stand at the Battle of Rome. Ino pretends to be a helpless victim when she's found by Kai, but Holy Order Sol senses danger and immediately swings at her. Baiting Kai's sympathy, she later tricks him into searching hopelessly to rescue her, instead of retreating, as over 200 large class and 3 Megadeth class gears descend upon the city.
Mega death
Her
class.
soul arrives to help. This time he's too late. Ino laughs to herself as Kai dies in Soul's arms.
Damn.
This causes a domino effect, leading to a damned world where Soul becomes commander of the Sacred Order, waging a lost war against Dizzy, who never meets Kai and chooses instead to inherit the will of justice.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Ino, how could you?
Yeah,
I
fucked
just-
up that one.
Yeah. Well, intentionally. Very intentionally so.
Johnny killed. Captain May leads the Jellyfish Pirates into battle, alongside Soul and Potemkin. But after 10 years of conflict, humanity is about to be wiped out. Ino roams this apocalypse, and after putting an end to a roaming murderous Dr. Baldhead, she eventually makes her way to the center of the Gear stronghold and meets that man for the first time. To her disappointment, he is shackled, enchained, and completely powerless, but his words and vision for a different future pique her interest. Curious to see what the world
Got
he
drip,
hopes
though.
for would look like.
Hey, if your power is going to be sealed and you're going to be a prisoner, you might as well have some drip.
She uses her powers to revisit 2173 AD and save Kai, thereby correcting the timeline. Witnessing the result of her
Save
temporal
Kai
change,
from herself.
he asks
Yeah.
her to lend her strength to his goals.
But here's the thing. Like, how exactly does this kind of... Oh, no, well, she goes through different timelines, which maybe they consider different dimensions, so it's not like she meets her past self, and it's not like a repeating thing. It's more of a different scenario. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, once you get into the paradox stuff, that can really mess with your timeline. You know, you might just want to remove yourself from that.
She accepts.
She's kind of got a demi-feed going on there.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Through the reflection of Ino's timeline disruptions, we see glimpses of alternate reality scenarios. Eddie, dying, lashes out at anything it can, desperate for a new host. Zato One's corpse can no longer provide sustenance, and time is running out. At one point, it attempts to possess Slayer's wife, Sharon, but the light emanating from her immortal body melts the forbidden beast away.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, right? Slayer's wife? That's the target you chose? I don't know about this one, buddy.
Robokai, setting fire to Jam Kuradoberi's restaurant.
I love Robokai's design. It's so silly.
How could Robokai do that? No!
Slayer
She just wanted to
reveals to
serve Chinese
Testament
food.
that his nearly extinct race of vampires, the Nightwalkers, used to be humanity's greatest enemy before the Age of Gears. Axel Lowe's time-slipping condition is diagnosed by Faust as an affliction caused by the existence of another Axel.
What?
Baiken finally confronts that man. She asks if he would prefer to die quickly or die slow and painful. Before effortlessly stopping her, he answers, "Death is not a choice. Death is giving up." He chooses to live slowly and painfully. For now.
I mean, I still gotta keep in mind that this hooded figure is the guy with the cat ears that we see later on.
I mean, he could have a different face, because I think someone said in the comments, I'm not sure, that he like is kind of swapping bodies as time goes on. I don't know, which is why he doesn't have the cat ears later.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, given the position that he is in the story and the kind of being that he's supposed to be, maybe he's like outside of comprehension for most people. For us, puny human beings who can't understand the greatness of the backyard.
Angie Mito meets that man and gets to ask his ultimate question. If gear technology allows human life to be extended and saves the environment, and the discovery of magic has already solved the renewable energy crisis, and the Earth's population has the ability to expand out into space if needed, and we have all these clear solutions to all of our problems, why? Why did it end up like this? To this, that man answers, divine punishment.
Oh.
Angie asks him to be more specific. That man extends his hand and invites Angie to come along if he's prepared to defy both heaven and earth.
Oh, his wanderlust is going to make him go.
Saul, not to fight, but to warn him of a coming threat that will make the Crusades seem like a dim memory. A time that will require men to become more than men and gears to become more than gears.
Plus Ultra.
Eventually, Raven and that man capture you and stop her time mischief.
Okay. Well, there goes Hina.
These timelines also introduce us to a number of...
up the timeline for like 5 minutes?
No, I gotta rock on. That's what I do. Like, imagine rocking so hard that you create alternate realities. Like, how sick is that guitar riff? Like,
You paused on this scene, and I just see his underwear is like way red and high here.
no. Why is that something you notice?
I don't know, you paused on this scene, and I was looking at his pants, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not his pants.
It's just trendy, you know? Remember when people had to, like, you know, wear their jeans and have it almost sag off? That was such a weird trend. I don't know what people were doing.
Noteworthy individuals. Zappa. An ordinary young man from Australia who one day becomes cursed and possessed by supernatural spirits.
Why does he have a heart on his forehead? And I mean, he's from Australia. He's not normal.
Seeking Dr. Faust's help. He is prone to often losing his memory when he's taken over by Esco, the vengeful spirit of a dead woman with a grudge against any happy couple.
The grudge? Of course! I know nothing about this guy. I've never seen him, but what a man.
Yeah.
Couples. His body was chosen because of his resemblance to the lover that abandoned her, causing her to take her own life. Zappa's contorted body is also host to a number of minor ghosts, an enchanted blade, a ghost dog.
His underwear is... He's not normal, so that makes a lot of sense.
Powerful lightning manifestation named Rao. Unlike Esco, however, these other spirits are more outwardly protective and caring of their host. Bridget. Born the youngest brother from a set of twins to a multi-billionaire family, Bridget's town superstitiously believed that male twins bring misfortune, and were so committed to this idea that they insisted that the youngest twin be given up for adoption or put to death. Neither of these options appealed to Bridget's parents, however, so they chose to raise him as a daughter instead of a son. Despite a kind and loving upbringing, Bridget saw that his parents felt guilty for what they did, and tried his best but couldn't convince them that he was truly happy. He decides to leave town with his possessed teddy.
In the scene in Strive where he's talking to, I think it's Kai and Gold Lewis, like the two of them are just standing there, like having this serious conversation with her, and she's just bouncing back and forth, all happy. It's so funny. They're having this serious conversation, and she's just dancing.
I mean, she's happy, and that's a good thing. She's got to show her parents that she's happy, you know? So, I guess that facade kind of stuck 24/7. Like, oh, your parents died? That's great!
Bear a weapon named Roger to become a bounty
Oh my
hunter.
god! Look at Roger! What a mad lad.
Wow. Yeah.
Hoping to return successful and wealthy as a man to prove their extreme superstitions incorrect.
Manliest of all men.
ABBA.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
And there she
There
is.
she is.
People are like, Zero, no, you don't want to be the key. But I mean, like, come on now. That animation, though. And I also think I saw some comments about how, like, you know, the color changed and whatnot, and you said it was from oxidation. Apparently that was more of a fan theory than anything. I don't remember what the real reason was.
Yeah, I still like it. There's
A shy homunculus
Yeah.
created in
I
a
like it,
mountaintop
regardless.
laboratory named Flask by a scientist experimenting with artificial life. When ABBA awakened, her creator was nowhere to be found. After 10 years of isolation and imprisonment, her yearning for freedom led to her becoming a key collector. After escaping Flask, by chance she encounters Flament Nagel, a living demon war axe that was once wielded during the Crusades. Seeing it as a giant key, ABBA names it Paracelsus.
Oh, so it's supposed to be a gigantic demonic war axe. But then she's like, no, become my keyblade. And so...
Because no, you is key.
I see. That's actually incredibly tragic, but makes so much sense now.
And takes it as her husband,
I kind of love
vowing
that.
to find him
Yeah.
a real body.
Whose body are you going to give to
2182
him?
AD. The Butterfly and Her Gale. Chip Zanuff is reminiscing on the lessons his master
this guy.
Tsuyoshi taught him when he happens across an assassination attempt on Erica Bartholomew, the 75th President of the United States. She ran alongside
of course.
Vice President Colin Vernon. After Chip intervenes and saves the president's life, she explains that the US government is currently being puppeted by the Assassin Syndicate and that she's being targeted for her attempt to pass law in Congress that would sever their ties.
I don't think that would surprise anyone.
Yeah. Maybe it's already being run by the Assassin Syndicate. Honestly, Slayer, maybe you should take some responsibility here. I don't know.
As the Syndicate is also responsible for Tsuyoshi's death, Chip wants to see them ruined and agrees to become Erica's bodyguard until the bill is passed. The Assassin Syndicate persists in its hostilities, attempting to blackmail congressmen and frame Zepp, while sending an assassin named Wolf to infiltrate and finish the job.
Wolf?
After luring Chip into a trap, Wolf shoots Erica with a black tech gun, but she survives and continues addressing the public.
Whoa!
Chip later
What?
She got hardcore. Damn.
Jesus! She got shot and she's like, yeah, no, I need to finish the speech. She just shrugged off a bullet? Okay.
intercepts Wolf and recognizes him as the man
vote for her.
responsible for killing his master. Wolf tauntingly insults the deceased Tsuyoshi and exposes Chip to the same drugs he was once addicted to. Chip manages to overcome
that's
Wolf's
low.
tactics and defeats him using Ki. With support also coming from Zepp and the IPF, Erica passes the bill, dealing a significant blow to the Syndicate. Later, Kai delivers an IPF intel report to Chip, revealing that Tsuyoshi was actually an undercover agent embedded with the assassins, before escaping and taking Chip under his wing. Erica then asks Chip if he still intends to be president someday. He replies that he'll have to ask his master first.
Okay.
2183 AD. The United Kingdoms of Illyria are officially recognized by the UN. Post-Crusade reconstruction efforts progress, a gathering of different city-states, philosophies, and religions that came together for survival reasons eventually give way to a new melting pot culture. The nation's capital is built atop the ruins of Rome and quickly becomes the largest metropolis of the post-Crusade world. The massive state not only includes Europe, but much of Asia as well, splitting the continent with the Federation of China. Illyria is divided into 3 kingdoms. Through popular vote, Kai Kisk is elected first king.
Of course.
First Holy Order soldier Leo Whitefang is elected second king.
Hey.
And the third king is named
He
Darrow.
does have king vibe.
Oh, he
Daryl.
certainly does. And Hi,
Why
I'm
does
Daryl.
that give Baylor, Doom, Yama, and Paul vibes?
I mean, when everybody else has like such epic sounding names, and then you just got the normal sounding guy, you know that he's probably also like the most dangerous one there. But like his name just doesn't fit.
That's what makes him
Daryl.
so hot.
Oh,
Daryl.
Daryl.
Hi.
For whom there would be justice. In
Oh
secret,
no.
Kai spends more time with Dizzy, and before long, they fall
secret.
in love. Despite the
Only
fact
tell
that they
Kai,
could not
right?
legally be married within
Oh,
the
it's
system
gone
due to
again.
her being a half-gear, Kai proposes to her anyway, and they begin living together. After a year of bliss,
I mean, you spend enough time together. And this is kind of the natural outcome, I would feel like. Especially with how Kai
I like
saved her
drawing
life, too.
characters bending over backwards dramatically.
I mean, yeah, we have seen a lot of that. And I guess it's just like the evolved form of the shaft head tilt. Now you're just tilting your entire body backwards.
Your whole body.
Yeah. Good, you know, gotta stretch out that
Yeah.
that spine. Yeah, it's healthy for them. They're all
Yeah.
fighters. You gotta be ready, you know?
Yeah.
Flexible.
they were expecting a child. Kai suppressed his latent feelings of guilt and immorality with newfound joy. But the reminder of his sins returned seeing the inhuman pregnancy his wife had to go through. A doctor
The
that
what?
knew
What
of their
was his
situation
sins?
Saving humanity?
From what I remember, he's just been the good boy shonen protagonist. What did he do that would be?
He killed a lot of gears.
I guess.
He also kind of saved Dizzy's life, and Dizzy is kind of the one who could like destroy reality itself. So
I guess. It's a weird thing to say. He replaced his like worry of his sins, if those sins are marrying his wife, with marrying his wife.
well, well, you know, you gotta reason yourself into the decision that you want to make. So he's gotta feel
Yeah,
a little bit
fair.
of guilt, or else he's not like an intriguing show protagonist. Okay.
Mhm,
Or,
mhm.
you know, maybe at this point we've forgotten about something that Kai did.
I just thought I'm sure I'm forgetting something because I have a bad memory, and we've been 3 long episodes deep into this.
It could also be like, you know, when he was working with his organization, and then he had that whole like, I need to bring this back to the higher ups, but then he discovered that the higher ups would kind of just use that
Yeah,
against mankind.
maybe that is it. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of what
That's
Potemkin was telling
probably
him. Yeah.
and assessed that Dizzy
makes sense.
appeared to be halfway through her second trimester, but only 3 weeks had passed. Furthermore,
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
the
she's also
magic-based
like,
equivalent-
what, 3 or 5 at this point? Something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, she's a gear, like full on, so you would expect it to not be normal. And the child is certainly
Yeah, I
not
was
going
gonna
to be
say,
normal
if she
either.
ages so fast, there's no way the baby wouldn't like either.
Mhm.
of an ultrasound was unable to see the fetus because it was encased in an egg.
Can you have a magic
At
ultrasound?
some point during the
They
They
nation's
don't have
founding,
technology.
Kai accepts an invitation from the Conclave.
Oh
They
no.
point blank tell Kai that they want him to become king of a new nation due to his popularity and status as a hero. Kai had previously considered that doing so would give him the power to create a better world for those who are suffering and for his wife and unborn child. But to suss out their motives, he politely dismisses his record as that of a military officer, unsuited for politics. The officials are blunt in their reply. That's fine if you don't do politics. You just have to keep your mouth shut and sit on the throne.
Damn.
Realizing that they want a puppet king, Kai excuses himself and asks to postpone the decision.
Yeah, ain't no way Kai's gonna accept that. Especially with his sense of justice.
Yeah, that's.
He's a good boy shonen protagonist. He can't do that.
They agree, but as he turns away, they pay their compliments. By the way, your secret wife is quite charming, isn't she? She seems awfully familiar.
Secret wife.
What a way to phrase that. Yeah, let me just indirectly threaten you. Totally directly.
Anyway, we look forward to your response. Unparalleled confession. Kai is worn down, praying desperately before a statue of the Virgin Mary when Sol arrives at the church. Sol notices a child hiding behind Dizzy's skirt named Sin. While he appears to be the size of a 3 or 4-year-old, Dizzy mentions that it's been 6 months. Gears not only mature at an advanced rate compared to humans, they also develop superior cognitive abilities at a faster rate as well, essentially reaching adulthood in 3 years. Sol notices the child's right eye is covered by an eye patch and feels as if something sinister is being hidden.
God, that's awesome demon power behind that eye, obviously.
To Kai, Dizzy asks Sol to please help him. The man Sol sees praying is a shadow of his former self. Kai has pale, thin cheeks and bags under his lifeless eyes. Sol smirks to himself as he notices Kai's right eye covered by an eye patch as well. What did you come here for? Your god sent me because your confession was taking too long. Sol picks a fight, but Kai's energy is that of a man who's already defeated himself. Pushing Kai to his limits, Sol drags what's left of the old Kai out to the surface, showing some
I feel
signs
like we
of
always
life.
have to have at least one fight between Kai and Sol for whatever reason.
I mean, yeah, duh. It's epic, so, like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The only way we can communicate is through the clashing of our blades. A classic, you know?
But before things heat up, young Sin grabs Sol's leg and says, I hate Dad, but if Dad gets hurt, Mom will cry, and I won't forgive anyone who makes Mom cry. Sol asks the child if he's scared. Sin says that he is, but it doesn't matter. Sol then turns to Kai and says that his son is already tougher than he is.
Oh, damn! Oh! Yikes, dude. Sol coming in and just saying it how it is, dropping those truth bombs. You can't even deny that.
I feel bad now comparing Sin to the new age shonen protagonists.
I don't know. Sin came out the womb. He was just built different.
Yeah.
Kai asks Sol if he can take care of Sin for a while, knowing it's an unreasonable request.
So this is how
Sol
Sol
asks
gets Sin.
if this is the
This
answer that
little
Kai found.
trainee.
Yeah, because he I guess he's like, I'm not in a good enough mental state to handle this, nor in like a situation where it would be safe for him to be with me, I guess, is kind of his line of thinking.
You know what this parallels?
What?
It's Date and Mizuki.
No! Well, yeah, actually, though.
Pretty much exactly, though. Except the mom isn't a piece of, of shit in this.
Yeah. Thankfully. If any of you guys are like, who are they referencing? I highly recommend you play The Somnium Files. It's a good game. And then play the sequel, too. Also a very good game. And then also play Zero Escape, too. Ujikoshi games are just good.
Yeah, for sure.
Kai says it's not, but with a little time, he can make a safe world where his wife and child can smile. Sol then accepts without hesitation. Well then, no complaints on what kind of man he becomes.
I mean, being raised by Sol, there isn't really any guarantee. The only guarantee is he's gonna be a badass. I feel like that's all I can say.
I mean, we know he becomes a good boy, though.
Yeah.
2184 AD.
Oh, look at
Chip
him running.
Xanath travels to a lawless area in the southern part of Africa and declares it the Eastern Chip Kingdom, taking thousands of...
What? I just imagine him running there like, hiya! This is my kingdom now! And I'd be like, okay.
families and property and criminals under his wing. As this area has seen little aid following the Crusades, Chip manages to re-establish some stability, earn the people's respect, and is working towards UN recognition. He chooses a ninja businessman named Answer as his right hand, and appoints himself president of a kingdom.
Oh wait, Answer was the business ninja guy, right?
That's a bold move. President of his own kingdom.
I mean, you can't say no. He's the president of the kingdom, after all.
Yeah.
2185 AD. Young Sin decides it's time he learned how to fight, and wonders about using Soul's weapon. Soul doubts it. Noting his affinity for lightning, Sin says it needs to be something that he can charge into battle with, that's manly and stylish, and most importantly, eye-catching.
There it is. Yeah, it's gotta be all of that. He grew up into a manly macho man, just like as expected.
Soul sarcastically tells him to go wave a flag.
Ah, yep, there it is.
Guilty Gear 2.
I mean, it's catchy, you know, everybody's gonna notice your weird-ass weapon. But he's also so overpowered that it works, right? Like, it's still a functional weapon in his head.
Overture.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, the Pirates of the Caribbean Keyblade, when you use it like special like Keyblade transformation, it turns into a flag. And it's one of the more fun Keyblades to use.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be a reference. I guess the flags are they're just flashy. Yeah. Especially when used in high octane action combat.
I like how they show the visuals of gears, like that has any actual connection to the gears themselves.
I mean, when you search up gear, that's what comes up. So just put a bunch of that in there and it works. I mean, they couldn't really show a bunch of like the actual monster gears just like, you know, rotating. I don't know if there would be any symbolism to that.
Know, I think it'd be fun though.
I mean, it would be. It would be really, really funny. And then you could just have like a cameo of like Justice or like Dizzy just rotating in the background too.
Long dormant gears begin to disappear without explanation. Based on the date of the first recorded occurrence, these events are later referred to as the Baptisma 13 incident. The backyard.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The backyard is an extremely mechanical and autonomous world of information that creates all possibilities and determines all events. Consider infinite potential occurrences being reduced to a single outcome by an automated process of discards and selections. The result...
Woolie, you were saying a bunch of words that are words.
He's saying, like, all potential branches are decided into one, like, continuous timeline based on some automated system. So it's like you branch in the multiverse and he's like, nah, not good. Chop.
Bruh. So, who created this system? Does it just exist?
I assume that's what we're getting to. I don't know.
Results are determined calculations, and thus they could be described as destiny. Despite the astronomically low probability of occurring, the phenomenon known as the Big Bang could be considered the result of all other outcomes being discarded. In other words, the backyard is a programming language, and the universe in which we live is the software.
Oh my god. We live in a simulation! No!
Oh
no! She was right! No! And once again, it's one of those references. It's one of those references that only we're gonna get. Like, oh my god. But anyways, yeah.
Damn
simulation.
you, Tokiko!
But yeah, I mean, simulation theory is a thing, and it exists, and I guess that's what we're going for in Guilty Gear. That's what you guys gotta know.
If any normal human were to enter the backyard, they would instantly be crushed to death by the density of information contained within.
Brain explosion.
The first one.
That's how I want
A
to go.
being is created within the backyard at a point in time that would be impossible to discern using our world as a reference point. The template of a specific human woman is used to create the body, and the soma is provided so that it may gain consciousness. But some irregularities occur due to the intervention of Mother. As such, Valentine is born. After performing a self-diagnostic, Valentine concludes that she is not someone named Arya, but queries who Arya is, as excess memories and emotions appear to be present, containing feelings for someone named Frederick. With no way to interpret this residual data, emotional processes are put on hold until she can complete.
So is that why she's always constantly searching for a husband? Because she has these feelings and she doesn't know who it's for? Oh. And I mean, I'm gonna assume she doesn't know that Frederick is referring to Soul. And I'm also assuming that, you know, this is kind of outside of time and space. So regardless of the timeline, like this information could be sent backwards. And she's kind of just based off of Arya, or at least a little manipulated by those memories.
Her objective to find a key for Mother, but there appears to be no exit. She wanders aimlessly for an undetermined period of time until she encounters a talkative, sleazy black sphere named Lucifero. It follows her. Somewhere, an autonomous troublemaker, only referred to as Mr. A to protect his honor, accidentally and unconsciously causes a gate to appear, allowing Valentine to exit the backyard. She steps in through and arrives on Earth in the year 2186 AD.
Here we go.
40 dormant years have vanished without explanation. Sin, who has grown into a cheerful but unrefined youth, travels with Soul, collecting bounties.
Very unrefined.
They spot a wanted poster for Soul, which she interprets as a tasteless call for help from King Kai Kisk of Illyria. Once they arrive at the castle, however, they notice the area is abandoned. Soul feels a severe headache and is suddenly attacked by Valentine and her army of creatures called the Visuel.
The
Soul
what?
initially loses his composure, as Valentine's face is identical to Arya.
Yeah.
But he regains it upon determining that this is in fact a stranger. She states that she's after the key and fights Soul to a stalemate before escaping as she...
I'm sorry. These manga panels about to make me act up. Jesus. Guilty Gear is very interesting. I enjoyed it a lot.
She too begins to feel a headache.
I'm gonna find you reading the manga.
The Visuel army
Bro, I'm
fights
about
using
to.
an unfamiliar powerful form of magic that uses tuning outside of the 12 steps.
Didn't know it had a manga.
Soul and Sin are initially unable to fight at all until a mysterious fox-eared yokai arrives and unlocks their ability to defeat the...
The mysterious fox-eared yokai? Just out of nowhere. I was gonna ask because he was standing right next to them. Like, who even is that?
this new enemy by optimizing the chords of their summoning magic.
Here I
He
am.
introduces himself as Izuna, originating from
Izuna?
Underworld Hill, a pseudospace dimension close to the backyard. It is home to other magic-based life forms
Of course,
called yokai.
Yeah.
Signs seem to suggest that Underworld Hill is actually man-made, and that Izuna is the guardian spirit incarnation of an island that used to be known as Japan. Rare irregularities in the backyard can result in this kind of phenomena. 2187 AD.
I see. I mean, Japan got, and it's basically gone, so I don't know, maybe that's where it ended up? Or the spirit of Japan.
Inside Illyria Castle, the bodies of King Kai's convict hammer guard are strewn about, and the king himself is sealed with a powerful spell. Next to him, Raven, the undying disease, is inexplicably present.
Wait.
He observes that Soul has
Oh, it's the wavy hands guy. Yeah, that's right. Unicorn
Yeah.
man.
now acquired the backyard's abilities and vanishes, asking Soul if he has a message for that man. As the seal holding the king is an advanced encrypted cord, Izuna suggests that they get help from one of the world's foremost magic experts, Dr. Paradigm. They journey to the Ganymede archipelago using
this was the gears where they tried to escape to and just try to live peacefully. Yeah.
Izuna's teleportation magic. Soul's hatred of gears causes some initial tensions, but Dr. Paradigm's observations about the ongoing crisis provide unparalleled insight. He correctly identifies Soul as Frederick, the scientist from 100 years ago. Soul reveals that the usage of limitless energy without knowing its source was an alarming prospect to scientists and scholars at the time, but humanity was too desperate to look a gift horse in the mouth.
I mean, who wouldn't be a little skeptical, you know? I mean, like, in the Doom universe.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, right? Because, I mean, comparatively, in the Doom universe, when they were like, yeah, let's use all this limitless clean energy that comes from hell. I feel like there should have been some people who were a little skeptical about that. I mean, I'm sure the players definitely were.
Like, are you sure about that?
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Mouth, following the dawn of revival. It was then hypothesized that the source of magic was a superior dimension, thus creating the backyard theory. Dr. Paradigm explains that the cube he discovered appears to be a control interface where man could manipulate this world, and that the survival in dense information space could be made possible with the original gear cells specifically created by that man. Dr. Paradigm frees King Kai. Sin immediately asks if his mother is safe, but when Kai can't say for sure, Sin chews him out as a king incapable of protecting anything and leaves. Kai then explains that a few days ago, Dizzy began to fade away like the other vanishing gears. So to save her, he used up the Thunder Seal's magic to create a temporal barrier, holding her in stasis mid-disintegration. Dr. Paradigm, suspecting Dizzy had been kept alive as another weaponized gear in the hands of the government, explains that she is a complete backup of justice, so she too contains the special gear cells that would allow one to enter the cube.
Because it was made by that man.
Absorbing gears in search of these cells. Dr. Paradigm moves to destroy Dizzy to mitigate all risks, but Kai stops him, openly proclaiming that he has fallen in love with the gear.
That's my wife.
Right?
Dizzy can still be saved if Valentine is defeated, but Valentine abducts and mind controls Sin instead.
Oh,
since he too
fucking Sin.
Oh, damn.
God dang it. If only you just stayed put.
Sin.
Oh, no.
He was a descendant of justice. She retrieves the key from his gear cells and leaves him behind to deal with Soul.
I see. So Sin's cells could also be used because, I mean, he's Dizzy's child, yeah.
Descendant of justice.
After defeating a brainwashed Sin,
He's just kicking the shit out of him.
No, Sin, no.
group chases after her, but she's already accessed a dimensional gate to the backyard.
You haven't even been present for most of his life.
Yeah. Classic.
Fighting alongside his father, Sin begins to respect him slightly more.
Slightly.
But none are able to open the gate until that man appears.
Huzzah! I'm here! Gotta make a grand entrance.
Make the most dramatic entrance yet.
I'm still chained up, by the way.
The gear maker himself appears before Soul, who immediately prepares to engage.
Such a hot noise.
Soul remarks that his appearance...
I mean, I think he would really enjoy that man's design and Strife. For sure.
has really fallen, and that man accepts it, as well as the blame for the Crusades,
She's seen it.
and
I used
turning
it in
Soul
VR
into
chat
a
once.
Oh. Then, yeah. I see.
However, he explains that there's no time to deal with any of this because Valentine, the Universal Will's offspring, needs to be stopped. Before any answers can be given, that man casts an effect on the group that allows them to pass beyond the gate and sends them off. With this spell, they can survive the information density of the backyard now that they've spent some time attuned to it. Soul, Izuna, Dr. Paradigm, and eventually Sin enter the gate and arrive at the edge of isolated space. Valentine has begun the process of unlocking the cube, but is interrupted. Soul rushes ahead while the others keep her busy. Unable to understand why she keeps failing, Valentine wonders if the emotional processes she put on hold are the cause. She suddenly gets furious and changes into a larger armored form, loosely reminiscent of Justice.
Of course.
Due to the similarities in the programming of the cube and Soul's own gear cells, he is able to understand the unlock process. But short on time,
Oh, yeah,
he simply
totally.
breaks it completely.
Oh, yeah, good, yeah.
I mean, we were made by the same guy. My cells, they communicate with the cube, and I understand that.
Sounds like Kirito to me.
How dare you? How dare you compare Soul to Kirito? Oh, God.
Valentine loses her purpose and prepares to self-destruct while closing the
No.
gate. Soul stays behind to stop her final form with his dragon install, while the others escape.
Oh, wait. Did you see that? Oh, God in the heavens, who I don't believe in. If you still hear me.
Tanya, is that you?
This is epic. Oh my God.
Oh.
Just transforming. Oh my God. He said that he likes me.
He likes her more now that he doesn't look like his wife. Oh.
This is some music.
覚悟はできてんだろうな。
Valentine is destroyed. With no way out, Soul thinks of Arya. That man appears and tells Soul he needs to survive to face the universal will in the coming merciless apocalypse. He then tells Frederick to live on as the flame of corruption.
The guilty gear.
Yeah.
Soul asks if he was behind Valentine resembling Arya. That man says not at all, because Arya had already been killed by the two of them. Soul swears to kill the Gearmaker next time, and corrects him on the name as the gate opens to send him home. He isn't Frederick. His name is Soul.
Soul bad guy. Wait, I'm pretty sure the reason why it was called bad guy was because in the reports, you know, about him raiding all the gear facilities, they called him a bad guy, right? I think I remember this bit about the lore. That's actually really funny. Every single time I think about it, he's such a bad guy.
He's a bad boy.
But hey, it's badass because it's his name.
Yeah.
Don't call me old man. I'm
With the
not old.
crisis averted, Dr. Paradigm begins the
compared to
process of
Sidious.
saving Dizzy. Kai offers Dr. Paradigm a place in Illyria for Gears to live in the open for the sake of his wife and child.
Oh, hey.
Soul thinks back on that man's words and wonders Asuka, what are you thinking?
Don't give his name like that. That's so rude, Soul.
You should keep on calling him that man. You need to continue playing the pronoun game. But yeah, no, that was epic. That was cool. I like how we get to see more of the characters that we're more familiar with, how they finally tie into the story too. And also Ito, though. Rocking so hard, going into a different alternate realities. Like, what even is that?
Yeah.
But we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, dudes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.